Okay, hi. Hi, YouTube. Welcome to the Motivate Moms channel where we build community through parenting. Today, I have a dynamic and powerful parent that's going to talk to you guys today. She's going to share some of her experiences, her thoughts, and maybe even give you a little bit of advice about parenting. By the end of this video, you'll walk away with a couple of more tools to put in your parenting toolbox to help you on your journey parenting. Young, old, grandparents, moms, dads, aunts, uncles, any kind of caregiver over kids, welcome to watch the video. Take a second to please like, share, and subscribe this video because you never know who you can help with it. So having said all of that, hey, Destiny.
Hey, how you doing?
Thank you so much for agreeing to speak with me today. I'm so excited to share your story. When I saw that you were about to get your bachelor's degree, I was filled with pride like I'm your mama girl. I was really genuinely so excited for you because I know a few little tidbits and pieces, about you coming up just from knowing the family. But I think this story is so triumphant at this early stage because you're just starting, I think it's so triumphant because there are so many young women who have been in your position now and don't know how to transition from where you were to where you are. So let me throw it at you and just tell me where did Destiny James start?
Well, as far as like with school to make me want to go to school?
No, go back to the beginning. Because I need them to understand that the woman you are today was very different.
Okay.
And you might be talking to those very different kids, right now.
Well, my mother, she was addicted to drugs. My father, I don't know who he is. I was placed in the system at the age of 7. Well, originally my auntie took care of me, took us in for like a year or so, but then afterwards she wasn't able to take care of us. So we had all 6 of us went through the DCFS system. I had found a home by the time I was 7.
I did not know you had 6 brothers and sisters.
Yes.
Okay.
The pretty cool part about it was, even though we were separated in 2s, 4 of my brothers, 2 stayed down the street from each other in Dalton.
Okay.
So, they weren't far apart.
So you got to keep in contact with each other, kind of keep tabs on each other. Okay.
Yes. My memory was so well. I remember when I had moved to Calumet Park with my mom, Miss Shirley Haynes, who adopted me.
Love her.
Yes. We was on the expressway. And I said, oh my God, I know this area here. She actually listened to me. And I guided her to originally where I used to stay on 110th and Esmond, where my original family lived.
Oh my God.
And
it's a wonder that just leans into why you where you are today. But go ahead.
Yeah. And I didn't understand as a child, hey, we can't have you over here due to the fact that my grandmother and grandfather was the biggest drug dealer on that block. Right?
What?
And my auntie stayed directly across the street from them. So I couldn't, I didn't understand, hey, all I want to do is be with my family. But as I got older, I understood that it wasn't right for me to be there. As a child,
not to cut you off, that's such a big moment right there. Because I've got family that grew up in the system as well. And I think, it's so hard to struggle with not being able to be with your real family, your original family. And as a kid, it's hard to understand why, so that was a big moment for you to learn why it was necessary for you to be with Miss Haynes.
Yes. Just the time that she did allow me to go over there, it was crazy. In the middle of the night, doors, the study being knocked on, my mother is shaking, I'm with my real mother. And I didn't understand why she was shaking her leg and everything else, and that was due to drugs. But as a child, you don't understand that.
Yeah, sure. So as you come up into, middle school and teenage years, how how did you begin to change?
Well, I began to change, through the middle year. We all have our times where we're defiant,
Oh yeah.
So, I had my moments of going through, my crazy teenage years. Growing up through grammar school, I was always the first one to be done and make the honor roll. I was very smart. They say the ones who don't like school, those be the smart ones. And I was the one that the teachers say, hey, we know that you're done with your work. Let everybody else catch up compared to, I know you're not talking, Miss James, when you wasn't the first one done, but it was the complete opposite. I was the class clown.
Yeah.
So, I never walked across my 8th grade graduation. I was stubborn. And, I just didn't do it. Then transitioning over to my high school, honor roll, very smart, actually finished school early, was getting out early at 12 to go to a work program through McDonald's, which I had worked from 2006 to 2017, from the age of 16 to the age of 28. But in the midst of that, my senior year, I had ended up getting pregnant. Right? A lot of people drop out, even though me and my mom was going through our confrontation or whatever the case may be. She kicked me out, and I still kept going to school. And she kicked me out because I didn't make the right decision as far as the choice of man. The man I was in a relationship with or had a child with was abusive. So
I think a lot of young women are in abusive young relationships and don't realize that it's abusive.
Yeah.
And when the whole family is all around you trying to prevent it and stop it, it kind of drives you closer to the person.
And I'm going to tell you something. Growing up as a child, you're not wanted by your mother. You don't know who your father is. Your family that's adopted, you don't feel like they love you. What better way for a man to prey on you and manipulate you in your mind that they love you when it was not love?
Yeah. Easy to fall into, hard as hell to get out of, especially young.
Yes. And, he prayed on that. My sister told me she didn't even think I would be here at 18, but it took a drastic turn and something that happened to me in regards of my child's father to get away and better myself.
And so tell them about that if you want to. That experience.
Okay. I was 19 years old at this time. My daughter just turned 1. It was in June of 2008. And he wanted me to go to this exotic party with him, like a toy party with his mother and stuff. And I felt uncomfortable. I didn't want my daughter to be at the house where she was at, but he was just making me go along. So as we driving there, he's been drinking. He picked up one of his friends, and I guess he was trying to show out. And how he parked the car was my first car. And I'm like, hey, you got the tires all on top of the sidewalk. You need to park a little better. And I guess by me trying to tell him what he did wrong, he wanted to show out and hit me. So not only did he hit me, he struck my face over 3 to 5 times to the point where I was not able to see. The next day I had asked his mother, could you please take me to the hospital because I was in so much pain. I know that I looked like my face was swollen like a pig. I went to the hospital and, I'm thinking the doctor's going to come in and I noticed flashing going nonstop. And come to find out, that was the police taking pictures. And I never called the police. I guess them seeing my face, knowing that I had a fracture nose, 2 swollen black eyes, they automatically got involved. And that was my wake-up call to save my money and get away, take my daughter out that environment.
I hope that young women hearing that understand, don't wait till this moment. Because it's coming. So don't wait till this moment. Stack your money, do what you got to do right now to make this change. So I every time I hear that, I'm completely and utterly shocked, angry. I just can't believe it. But then we come through this.
Yes.
And the woman, Destiny James, is born. Tell me about her.
Well, I became born, you know, first and foremost when I had my child. And I'm still working on trying to love myself, you know.
Yeah,
And
we
it
all
took
are working
time.
on that one.
Yes. Yeah. So it took time. It took time. And I just made it. I said, look, you know, when my mother told me, hey, you're not ready for no baby. And I was, you know, just so ecstatic. Like, how dare you tell me I'm not ready for a child? Like, I knew what I was talking about, right? But in reality, she was right. That little girl had to grow up pretty fast to provide for that baby.
Yeah.
You know, it's what you're going to teach that child, what you're going to love and everything else. And not about, oh, the baby's pretty, but how you're going to provide for that child. So reality hit me pretty fast.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It is one of the biggest things I try to share about parenting is every woman, young, old, and in between, everybody thinks we just born great mothers.
Yeah.
No, you have to learn. You got to use the village. You got to listen and don't be a know-it-all and take input from somebody at some point. And then you got so many mothers out here who are acting like I'm the perfect mother and look at me and look what I did. And, you know, we have to find that middle ground where we can share real stories like this so that we can understand it's just growing pains with parents. The more we share with each other, the better we're gonna all be. So you realized you had to be a mama.
Yes. I realized I had to be a mother by going to work. You know, after 12 years of working there, I was only making $10.85, but I took pride in my job because I'm a people's person, and that helped me survive. You know, with that job, working at McDonald's, you know, when I decided to go to school in 2014, this is just from working at McDonald's. I was able to pay off school loans, you know, pay my car off in one day, 16,000, student loans, 14,000. And I wasn't even done with school in 2017.
Wow.
You know, so I took pride and saved and took away from myself and made sure that, hey, I know I don't have much, but it's going to help me. You know, but I realized it was time for me to go to school back in 2014, you know, when the new store manager, she was talking to me like crazy as if I was uneducated, as if I was nothing. I said, you know what? I'm too smart for this. I'm too smart. And I ended up getting enrolled that summer, 2014, doing the summer bridge program in Chicago State, paid $300, and had to take algebra 1 and 2 class because, you know, what people don't realize, when you get into high school, even when you're going to college, they're going to test you to see where you're at. And if you notice that a lot of colleges, there are a lot of high school algebra that's being retaught because it wasn't taught correctly. So for me to complete that program in 8 weeks of algebra 1 and 2, I was ahead of the game. Because when I started,
what made you not? When they told you, okay, you got to do this and you got to take this test and you got to pay this $300, you know, before you can even start college. Why didn't you throw your hands up and say, nah, I'll stay at McDonald's?
Well, you know what? I thought of myself and said, you know what? I can do this. You know, and during that time, I didn't have much. And I said, you know what? Look, I got to do this. I got to start from somewhere. This is a great opportunity just for them to say, hey, you got to do a summer bridge program due to my ACT scores being too low. As far as a 15, I was able to get in. And if that's what I had to do to get my foot through that door at the age of 25 years old, that's what I did. That first year, I became
like you was on fire.
Yeah, that first year, believe it or not, I made freshman of the year. They gave me gift cards, money, all of that. Taking 5 classes. I took 5 classes. My first time going back, and I graduated from high school in 07. So that's a 7-year break. Woo. And I went in there full-fledged like that.
Wow. And Rakia, your beautiful, my birthday twin, is still your only daughter, right?
That's my only daughter. It's like, I bumped my head. I learned my lesson. She's a blessing, but I learned my lesson. You know, I want to make sure if I do bring other child, I want to make sure I'm financially stable. I want to make sure that the child's father, if we're not together, because a baby's not going to keep a relationship. You want to make sure that that man is going to be involved, not just financially, but spending time. You want to look at that man's family. If you see that man's family is not functional, and then there's other problems there, you want to take a look at that. And
absolutely. That's awesome. Awesome advice. Awesome advice. You have to look at what your future is going to look like, not just with that person, but with that family.
Yes.
Yeah. That's awesome. Awesome advice. So So you did your 4 years, and now what? You have a bachelor.
I got a bachelor in education. Actually, I started 2014 of August. I had took 1 year off in 2018 once I did my prereqs to try to study for exams, and I ended up getting a license in life and health insurance. And I went back in 2019 and just finished it off. So I took 1 year off. So I still was determined to go back. I
hear so much resilience and determination with all the things you have had to deal with. Like, you are trying to make that your permanent past.
Yes.
And I'm just so excited for all the things that you have going on and in the future. So, bachelor's in education, what's next?
Well, what's next is, what I plan on doing is, studying. You know what I mean? So I can get the certifications and everything, and live my dream. But as far as now, I work with diverse learners.
Okay.
So that's a real good stepping stone for me compared to what I come from, and I enjoy what I do. You know, some people go to law school or medical school because their mom and dad want them to do that. And I would encourage people to do what you feel that your heart is for. Because you're not going to be able to give it your heart all. You're not going to be able to enjoy what you're doing unless you want to do it.
Absolutely.
So I choose to be in a field of something that I enjoy, something that I feel that I can help. And that's with being with children.
Yeah, you sound so passionate about it as well. That's the first sign that you know somebody is doing what they have dreamed of doing.
Yes.
You know, when you hear, you almost can't put it into words how much you want to do what it is you want to do.
Yes.
So, couple quick questions.
Okay.
I'm a grandmother. I have a 15-year-old who has a boyfriend that I can't stand. How do I talk to her? How do I get her attention? What can I say to get her to hear me?
I'll say that use me for an example. You know, a man or a boy, they're going to tell you they love you. And you know what? I'll give you a better example. My daughter will be over her family member house, and her family member, she'll see him with multiple women. I said, now she's only 13. She just made 13. I said, now you see that? You see how men say they love you? And I said, but this is when you young and you going through that feisty or want to do different things. This is a
my mother would call that smelling yourself.
Smelling yourself. That's right. And I'm so, it's sad, but I want her to be able to see the raw. This is what they do. They tell you they love you. Next, you know, they got another one.
There's nothing wrong with pointing out a few examples here and there, so they can see that what you say is actually what's happening.
Yes,
yeah,
and
great
she's
advice.
Like, right, Ma, I see what you're saying. She was like, oh, he gonna catch something. You know, we laugh about it, but this is reality. So just imagine if this is a grown man. Just imagine a teenage boy. You're not going to be the only one.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Okay, another question.
Cases.
I'm 17. I'm out of high school. I think I'm grown, even though I still live at home with my mom. And I'm buck wild. You know, what do you say to the 17-year-old, but not the mom? You know, the first question we're talking to the mom. Now we're talking to the 17-year-old.
I would just tell that 17-year-old, hey, I know I'm not the one to judge, but coming from a background experience of doing some of the things that you did, it's only going to lead you one way out. And that one way is 6 feet under. Somebody's going to harm you, going to get killed, or probably be in prison. You know?
It's all true. It's all true. When you get caught up with the wrong crowd, the wrong guy, the wrong girls even, you know, you can run with some girls who will get you caught up. You know,
you the girls you run with could be jealous of you. They could you understand? You got people, you running with this guy, he the biggest drug dealer, and he get out the car, go in the store, and that car that you're in that other people notice, get rid of with bullets. You know, it's a Russian roulette game when you playing with different people and dealing with different people with different backgrounds.
Absolutely. Best advice ever. Best advice ever. I am so freaking proud of you. I don't even know what to do. I got to come see your mom.
Oh, yeah.
Hug her. But I'm so excited, Destiny. I look forward and wish you so much happiness. I look forward to seeing what else you have coming down the pike, because I don't think you're going to stop at teacher. No. You might mess around and be the next superintendent in a couple of years. Hey, I mean, you speak with so much, like I said before, so much resilience, so much power and confidence in yourself now, and very, very different than the little girl I met whose hair I was doing, 20 years ago. So I'm just so excited. I cannot be more grateful for you sharing your story, such a personal story. With young parents, young and old parents, because I really want people to listen to this interview from all angles, as a parent and as a kid. What could parents say? I asked my nephew years ago, who got caught up in trouble, what could I have said to you as an adult, because kids don't listen to the adults, what is it that I could have said that would have kept you from ending up in the county?
Right.
When you can answer that question, you will be able to help your brothers not suffer the same fate. Well, that was, 15 years ago. Not only did those boys suffer the same fate, they're all just kind of doing the same thing. So he could never find the answer to that question. And I think it's one of the most difficult questions that parents have to find themselves trying to struggle to answer, is how do we communicate with our kids when they're, on the wrong side of right? Yeah. So thank you so much. I don't want to take up your whole day. Promise me we're going to talk again when you get your next degree. Okay. Because I know it's coming. To YouTube, thank you all so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. If you have any questions or any comments, any well wishes, anything for Miss Destiny James, please drop them in the comments below. She's going to stay engaged with the video and talk to you guys if you need her to. If you know another powerful, resilient, stereotype busting sister or brother like Destiny James, please email me at pam@motivatemoms and tell me about them, and they might end up on the channel as well. Remember, guys, there is no perfection in parenting. None of us are perfect. But when we share our stories and our experiences, our strategies, tips, and techniques, we grow as individuals and we grow as parents. So share those experiences, because that's exactly how you build community. Destiny, again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I will talk to you soon.
Okay.
And good luck.
Thank you. I appreciate you. Good luck with you as well. And I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. See you, baby.
Okay. Bye-bye.